Big things were in store for 21-year-old Pooja Singhal, India's youngest ever IAS officer. In 2000, the prestigious Limca Book of Records made special mention of her unprecedented achievement at such a young age. Singhal had always been a topper, right from her school days and all through university. As Jharkhand's SDO, Sub-Divisional Officer of Hazaribagh in 2002, she showed her mettle by leading a raid, where her team seized books of government schemes that were being sold illegally. As expected, Pooja rose rapidly in the ranks, becoming the trusted hand under 3 Jharkhand chief ministers over a 10-year period: Arjun Munda, Raghubar Das and Hemant Soren. Then for another raid on May 5, 2022, Enforcement Directorate team from Delhi arrived surreptitiously in Jharkhand's capital Ranchi. Some came in a jeep, some riding a car, some coming in a school bus, and some even as solo riders on motorcycles. All in secret so as not to tip off the powerful and highly influential target. Late at night, the teams huddled together and discussed their plan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a top secret mission. It's a huge case of money laundering by a bigwig officer. As the sun rose the next morning, they headed towards their destination, joined by CRPF and CISF Jawans for security. All this while, the Jharkhand administration and police had no idea of what was going on. Because this time, the target was none other than Jharkhand's Industry and Mining Secretary, the prodigal Pooja Singhal herself. In a massive operation, 18 different locations of Pooja and her associates were raided simultaneously in 5 different states. The 3 largest teams headed to Pooja Singhal's residential bungalow, her husband Abhishek Jha's hospital, and their chartered accountant Suman Kumar's house. Mrs. Pooja Singhal, we have a warrant to search your house. The hunter Wali became the hunted. It was quite a fall from grace for this highly ambitious officer, out to make it big in a short span of time. It seems that for the initial few years she was an upright officer, but greed, avarice, or the easy pickings in the system got to her. Because the first charge on her was after 5 years of service, after she became District Magistrate of Chhatra in 2007, where she bungled Manrega wage funds worth a relatively small 1.43 crore. Emboldened by getting away with it, she picked 6 crore more from the same Manrega funds while posted in Kunti district during 2008-11, smartly covering her tracks by parking the amount in 2 NGOs. Ostensibly for the official cultivation of Musli, Ayurveda's Viagra, but the plantation never happened. In an unrelated event in 2012, Jharkhand's Vigilance Bureau found that a certain contractor kept delivering extremely substandard work in development projects. On investigation, the person, one Ram Prasad Sinha, turned out to be a junior engineer in the state government, who, as a government servant, is barred from doing any side business, but was somehow being handed crores worth of Manrega funds. The state's Vigilance Bureau dutifully registered a case of money laundering against him. But BJP's Raghubar Das's government allegedly never let the matter move forward. All this while, Singhal kept getting awarded with plum postings. First as Agriculture Secretary, then as officer on special duty to the Chief Secretary for Momentum Jharkhand, a project to attract private investment in the state. In fact, immediately after the Vigilance Bureau's case against the junior engineer, she was made Deputy Commissioner of the thickly forested region of Palamu in 2012-13. A region she went on to dominate for years, transforming herself into a mining mafia, an authority unto herself. She remote controlled the mining officers of Pakur, Dumka, and even the far-flung Sahibganj, all through her chartered accountant Suman Kumar. WhatsApp chats between them all show them using code words to stay off ED's radar. 20 kg has been delivered and the rest by the end of the week. Good. However, the ED prized out what it meant during questioning. What is this 20 kg, huh? He wanted some pure ghee, so I sent him. तेरे चचे की डेयरी है क्या साहिबगंज में? सच बता. It's 20 lakh. kg is the code word. Singhal also tried to play it clever by using a Cook SIM card in her iPhone, via which she got calls and messages from a CA informing her about mining deals and collections, while her own phone remained clean. But she got into trouble when, without government permission, she transferred 83 acres of tribal land to a listed company, Usha Martin, for mining in exchange for kickbacks. Upset villagers launched massive protests, almost leading to a law and order situation. Such was their angst that a committee had to be set up under N.K. Mishra the divisional commissioner of Palamu to investigate the matter, who surprisingly pronounced her guilty. But this time it appears that Arjun Munda's BJP government saved her by setting up another committee that gave her a clean chit. All this ill-gotten wealth worth about 25 crore, single-hander cronies stashed in secret locations in Sahibganj, Bhagalpur and Kolkata in the form of gold. When governments changed after Jharkhand Mukti Morcha's Hemant Soren won the 2019 elections, she built a rapport with him too and got the industry and mining secretary charge. In a quid pro quo, she helped him get a mining lease license for a stone quarry. Under the protection of his party, she even started to smuggle stone chips to Bangladesh via the Ganga River. It's not banned, she just did it in cash. In 2021, the mafia lady again, without clearance, gave the operation of Pachadumar and Sundipur sand ghats to a hand-picked contractors. So street smart was she that reportedly MLAs from all parties used at least one of her 20 shell companies she had set up to invest 150 crore of their black money in commercial buildings, malls, restaurants and infrastructure projects. In return, they provided her immunity from getting caught for her shady deals. Her husband Abhishek Jha got large loans for his hospital from private banks through her contacts that are yet to be repaid. And the vendors who supplied material for its construction have also been left crying as they never got their full payment. The land on which it is built is also under inquiry for being reserved for Adivasis, which no one else can legally buy. But she was reportedly so powerful that an IAS officer 8 years her senior was transferred just because she didn't like him. However, all this was not going unnoticed. Jharkhand's Vigilance Bureau was working hard behind the scenes since 2012, persevering and filing 16 FIRs and charge sheets against the junior engineer Ram Prasad Sinha for embezzlement of Manegra funds. It took 8 years to build that pressure on him until the harassed engineer finally spilled the beans on Singhal.
She okayed the funds and got her 5% cut,
which became the starting point for the ED to make a file and go after her, leading to the eventual raids. During the search at Singhal's house, they found a secret red diary, almost like the one that existed in Amitabh Bachchan's movie Dawn, which gave information about the nexus of politicians and officials involved in money laundering. While searching her husband's Pulse Super Speciality Hospital, the ED cornered off its premises and no one was allowed to either leave or enter without showing an ID. But surprisingly, it was the chartered accountant Suman Kumar's house that they found the biggest haul of 17.8 CR of the total 22.3 crore seized, which, as you can imagine, took almost the entire day to count. At first, the CA tried to act cagey about it during questioning. From where did you get all this? To whom does this belong? I'm a CEO of so many companies. Must be one of them. His 4 luxury cars were seized the next day and he too was arrested. Elsewhere, Pooja Singhal was subjected to 18 hours of rigorous questioning over 2 days of May 10th and 11th. She refused to take ownership of the unaccounted money and on the contrary, threatened ED officers.
Don't you know who I am, huh? This is my area and I'm very powerful. Nothing will happen.
But things did happen. She became the first serving IAS officer in Jharkhand to get arrested and subsequently suspended by the state government. In December 2022, ED attached her husband's hospital, its diagnostic center and 2 land parcels worth 82 crore. Though as per her official declaration, she owned either jointly or by herself property worth only 2.2 crore. Coincidentally, exactly 1 year later in May 2023, while Pooja was still behind bars, Chavi Ranjan, another Jharkhand IAS officer, was arrested for a separate land fraud of 4.55 acres of army land. Ranjan was reportedly also in collusion with Singhal and helped her by hiding the illegal land documents of her husband's hospital. Pooja's story reminds us of UP's Dabang IAS officer, Bukya Chandrakala, famous for taking on errant politicians. But she too turned out to be on the take of a mining syndicate allegedly headed by the then Samajwadi Party MLA Ramesh Misra. While our earlier story Undercover Cops was part 1 of how our agencies have been on the prowl for black money in smaller towns, this is the follow-up story and there will be at least 2 more parts. We will look at how UP's perfume baron Piyush Jain was taken down and then Partha Chatterjee, Bengal's former education minister. Pooja Singhal was a brilliant officer with empathy. She was the one who first helped physically disabled people through welfare schemes. Then, as director of Ranchi's government hospital, she scaled and modernized it to function efficiently. An officer with women empowerment in mind, She even went against her own family to help her widowed mother remarry. She herself also married twice, first with fellow IAS officer Rahul Purwar and then with Abhishek Jha, who was a nobody then. How she turned into a monster of gigantic proportions is a sobering thought. At a time when women have secured the top 4 ranks in the civil services this year, and becoming a civil servant is a dream for the average middle-class youngster, the prodigal Pooja Singhal is definitely not an idol for them anymore. Bizbo's limerick. There was an IAS officer called Singhal. With politicians, she liked to mingle. She soon ruled the roost, but the law too deduced, and of corruption she became a symbol. You will also find these sources listed in our video description section.